Namaste, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jeni Ji. Now, this week's video on the Cosmic Vibes series, I'm going to be talking about the Lionsgate portal. Like, this is the biggest portal of the entire year, and we are currently in it. What can you guys expect? We have Mercury retrograde happening here in August, and we are also in the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde, and we've had massive solar storms. Like, this is why the world has like huge weather changes right now as well, and people are getting headaches and feeling like, oh my gosh, there's huge changes coming, as I've mentioned before, in the US and the world and such like that. And we also have the August new moon coming up in Leo, to my fellow Leos. Now, before I begin, I wanted to give you guys a reminder that on Wednesday, July 31st, set your clocks and your dials, because I'm going live on YouTube here, giving some free psychic clairvoyant readings. That's right, you heard me. Now, that is going to be at 12 noon Mountain Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. It's best to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little button right down there in the corner that says subscribe, and you will get notifications. And you can follow me on Instagram, Jeni Ji Cousins or Jeni Cousins, and I'll follow you back because my team posts notifications on lots of different things, what's coming up and so on and so on. And I'll follow you back. So just to give you guys heads up with what's coming right now, and how many of you guys, seriously, can feel this huge shift going on? You know, I've been talking about that for quite some time. There's been huge changes that, as I've been mentioning, and I predicted, last year with these so-called leaders. People are stepping down, new things are coming. That's going to continue because more and more truth is being exposed, as I keep saying. A lot of different passings, that's just going to continue, unfortunately. We're not going to talk about that too much because for those of you who are tuned in and can see the truth, we all know why all of these sudden passings have happened. And God be with us all, right? So it's during this new moon time, especially on the 4th and 5th of August, more passings with animals, your beloved pets, loved ones, and so on. The new moon brings in sudden endings, which opens up to new beginnings, rebirth, and death, to transformation. And transformation can be painful. This is the week when you're going to be like, you know what, I want to meditate a little bit more. I can just feel like this power within me is coming out. I can feel all of these changes. Some of you can be really scared of change, because you can feel it and you're like, oh my gosh, I can feel something's coming. Like, how do I handle this? What do I do? This is when you really need to get grounded, right? I always say to people, I love trees. I'm a Leo, right? As here's the lion behind me. Happy birthday, Leos, fellow Leos. Because when you get in touch with nature, even try hugging a tree. Seriously, trees have their own heartbeat. It will help you get grounded. And see all these beautiful roots in the background? You can go outside, walk in barefoot, take your shoes off, go barefoot, walk around on Mother Earth, if it's sand, if it's like in your yard, if it's like in the forest, in the woods. Close your eyes and visualize these huge roots. They're ancient roots, pulling you down deep, deep, deep into the ground. That will help give you strength and help you get grounded. It's one of the fastest ways to get grounded. getting in touch with Mother Nature as well, as far away of the noise of the city and so on and so on. Just be careful when you're hiking and such like that, right? It's the land of the animals. I mean, if you're in the mountains and different places where there's wildlife, like animals are taking their power back. I'm also an animal communicator, and I talk with animals of all walks of life, species and species, all of that. So I get constant messages. I won't even personally go hiking in the mountains in different places. That's just myself. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. Hiking is a great way to exercise and, taking in Mother Nature and its beauty, but please be careful because there's a lot of unexpected that can happen. And that's been happening more. It could be more bear attacks. It could be, like I'm just saying, right? I don't want to freak you guys out, but I'm just keeping it real here as well. Because when you're meditating, it really helps you to remember who you are as a soul. When you are tuning into your soul's light, you're going to hear more messages coming through. Go and meditate in a very quiet area. You can meditate in your own place. I mean, I meditate a few times a day myself. I turn off music and, if it's television, I don't watch a lot of television or anything, but I do listen to music and I chant every day. So, there's many, many different ways to meditate, whatever works best for you guys. You go on your own, vibration, what feels right to you, because as you become still, you will take your power back and feel your power and hear those powerful messages coming through from your soul. That's why meditation is so important. Yeah, but Jeni, I tried to meditate and it didn't work for me. It takes time. It takes practice. I mean, I've been meditating for actually since I was a kid, to be honest with you. Whenever there's some type of, traumatizing thing that happened when I was a child, I'm not going to go on about it. I would just kind of go in my room and lock the door, sit there and listen to some music to calm me down and just sit there and rock back and forth and connect with the spirit world and get messages and so on. That's what helped me got through a lot of my childhood and certain things. So, we all sometimes, just get put in a situation where we're like, how do I defend myself? How can I ground myself? How can I make myself feel better? So some of you guys might be more drawn into, doing things that you really like to do, some hobbies. You might all of a sudden get inspiring. You know what? I want to start doing this. When I was a child, let's say, I used to enjoy painting, coloring, reading, like whatever it is, because we have that Chiron energy here. It's very powerful. I've been talking about that for a while. And that brings up old wounds, from other lifetimes. It brings up wounds that you may have experienced from when you're a child all the way up to your current time right now. And every time you get triggered, it gives you that opportunity to face it, to say, okay, why am I feeling like this? Why am I seeing this? Why am I being shown this? Or whatever. Why has this happened? Because your soul wants you to heal. And every time you get triggered, it gives you that opportunity to heal and take your power back. As you're healing, you do start taking your power back because you're not giving it to others. So it's a very powerful time, to really kind of reflect and take a look at your life and so on. You're going to be reviewing a lot of these past 4 weeks as we end July. July, was a powerful month. We had pre-Mercury retrograde starting with the Lionsgate portal, so you guys have felt that shift. So what you were dealing with these past couple of weeks here, you're going to be showing more in Mercury retrograde and also with this Lionsgate portal. The Lionsgate portal peaks on the 8th of August, the 8th, and it ends the 26th. It's huge to manifest. It's a huge vibration. It's one of the biggest portals of the year, right? Like, I will never forget what I was doing on August 8th, right? So you guys will be able to reflect back, expect the unexpected. This is a huge period to expect the expected. You might have all of a sudden surprising visitors coming over. Like people from your past have started to come back. It is not the time to start a new relationship because there's going to be more challenges in August with Mercury retrograde. I always recommend if you've met somebody, you're interested in somebody, really, really go slowly. If you try to pounce on someone, if you try to push something, it's not going to work. So things come together at the right divine timing. It's really a time to slow down. Take the opportunity to review things, take the opportunity to reflect on things. Don't be signing any major huge contracts right now. And if you're renewing leases or whatever it is, that's fine, but take a look to see if there's any changes and look at the fine print always. The worst part about what's being shown right now, really pay attention, especially if it's electronics and such, what's breaking down, that could happen in Mercury retrograde. So this is why it's important to pay attention to what's going on now. And even with the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde, which we're in, that can actually be harder and more intense than the actual retrograde that's coming on the 4th and the 5th of August. With that full moon on the 4th and 5th of August. I know we're only coming up to the 2nd of August that I'm talking about, but I wanted to give you guys what to prepare for, what's coming next. That's why I do these videos, to help you prepare what's coming, how to stay grounded, how to really work through these energies and so on, right? And it affects us all. It affects our animals, it affects our body and such like that. Even with these planetaries, like you might even find that the 28th to the 29th, your neck and your vocal cords might be a little off with your thyroid and your animals. You might even find the 30th to the 31st, your shoulders and your arms and your hands are a little bit more sensitive. This is a year with the universal 8 year to really take your time stretching gently even more. It doesn't matter how old you are, because if you rush and push certain things, especially with your body's not going to like that, because your body's trying to, keep on level with the vibrational frequency as your DNA is healing. So it's not a time to push. Go on your own journey with that. If you're running, let's say, do your stretches, any workout and stuff like that, but just really listen to your body. We can push ourselves a little bit and such like that. However, really pay attention to when it's hurting, really pay attention to, what, I don't know. All of that is very important this year. So you're going to start to see more reality on the 27th and 28th of July. This is when you're going to be like, I want to work out a little bit more. You might be seeing some physical changes. If you, let's say started a diet program, if you started working out more, because it's more physical changes. Maybe you got a haircut or changed your hairstyle, or maybe you changed your wardrobe, right? And you cleaned out and you gave some of those old clothes away, and you're like, I just didn't like them anymore. They didn't fit right, or I just never wear it or whatever. So you donated your clothes or gave it away or whatever. I donate things all the time, like literally all the time, right? I'd rather give my things to the less unfortunate to help them out, especially with the huge cost of living and inflation that's been here, everywhere the inflation has been. It's just not acceptable in my terms. This is what your so-called leaders has created in the world. They don't care because they got all the money in the world now, don't they? Right? I'm just saying. So now pay attention as well to what you're being shown when you're sleeping in your dreams. Who has come through? Is it a loved one that's passed on? Is it an animal? Is it like a spirit or a guide? Are you hearing somebody talk? You see, really pay attention to that, because there's a lot of different messages in that. Like even my dad came through in a dream for me last night, and showed me something, and I'm like, what? And then, when I woke up, and I'm like, oh, yes, that's right. Thank you for giving me that heads up to that. I'm very grateful. Write down your dreams when you're waking up, when you're just waking up, because they're still fresh in your mind. Like the first thing I do, as I'm waking up, especially if I have a dream that I'm like, okay, there's a message in there for me, right? That I might not have gotten at that exact moment, let's say. So I start writing it down, like all of the details, like where was I, who was I with, how was I feeling, what colors were around me, what sounds, who was with me. Was it a male? Was it a female? Like, was it a presence? Like, where was I? Like all of that kind of stuff. Everything. Symbols represent a lot. Sounds, voices, like everything, your surroundings. Maybe you're being shown past life situations, right? There's, with this Chiron energy, we're still healing and clearing ancestral energy, ancestral wounds, and so on and so on and so on, and your current wounds, and from being betrayed or traumatizing times in this lifetime, and so on, because your soul wants you to move forward. It's really important to heal yourself first before you can really, really branch out to do all of these other things for everybody else. This is also a week of self-care, by the way, right? Taking time out for you. When you're taking more time out for you and making yourself more of a priority, this is when you're going to see success. Like my volume is turned off on my phone now. Like I turned my volume off on my phone, I don't know, 3 months ago. And I do check my messages here and there, and I get back to people. But because I get nonstop messages coming in, and I'm like, okay, what's a priority? What's really important? Right? Because sometimes I'll get certain messages and I'm like, well, why do I need to know that? Or you know what I mean? Just certain things, right? Because I'm working on some major things right now. So if you want to see results with what you're working on, taking time out for you because you just need that space, turn your phone off or turn the volume off, turn it on mute, turn it on do not disturb, all of those things, because you're going to be even showing that even more. Because if you're trying to manifest things and you have doubts, it's not going to happen. You have to focus on that and work towards it. You are the only one that can work towards it. Trust in the flow of the energy of the universe with the divine flow of it. When you start pushing things, what happens? When you start forcing things, what happens? It works against you, and that can end. There can be immediate endings because that person can be like, why are you trying to push me? Why are you trying to force me? Why are you trying to push this to happen or force that to happen? Like whatever it is, it will not work with you. And then you're going to be like, well, that was just not going to work, or that was just not all of that. This is when you have to silence the mind. Really important. So now you might find the 29th and the 30th, you're going to start to face more things that are not comfortable for you. Who likes to face things that we don't want to face? Nobody does. However, when you face what you know needs to be resolved, what you know needs to end, what you know is just not working, your life will get calmer. Your life will flow better. There's certain things that take time. There's certain things that are out of our control, of course, sudden deaths, weather catastrophes, right? Like just certain things. You have no control over nothing. The only thing you have control over is yourself, nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. We all deal with things in our own way. You cannot judge other people with how they cope through things, with how they deal through things. Don't ever judge anybody. That's really low vibration. Show more compassion towards people and humanity. I mean, like if you're getting treated really badly, if somebody's taking advantage of you, if somebody's taking you for granted, if somebody is, treating you really bad, yeah, well, ask yourself, why am I allowing that? Why am I allowing that person to treat me like that? And sometimes we have to stay in, certain situations or toxic relationships before we're like, I'm done. I'm done. So with this Lion's Gate coming up, you could be like, that's it, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I've had enough. If it's a job, if it's a relationship, it's a friendship, like business contact, like where you're living, like anything could happen, right? Like, and that's the thing. But you got to pay attention to these signs, because we always get these signs, because on the 30th and 31st, you're really going to feel a compel to create a new path for yourself. How many of you have written goals? How many of you have written smaller goals and larger goals? How many of you have done that? A smaller goal, it can be easier, of course. A larger goal takes time, right? It takes more time and effort. Like I said, I'm working on 2 major goals right now myself, and it's not overnight. It's not going to happen in a week. It's not going to happen in a month. I am working on it every single day, every day a little bit. Even if it's for like a half hour, even if it's for an hour, even if it's for, yesterday, I'm like, okay, I need to go and get some supplies for my project I'm working on. So I went out and went to 3 different places to get some supplies, what I needed for my project. But I didn't work on my project when I came home because I had other things to do. And I'm like, you know what? I also need a little bit of space for me just to sit back and, listen to some music and just unwind and such like that. So, you're still working on things every day. It's really hard to, sit outside right now, like there's huge wildfires going on here in Alberta and BC. A lot of things are burning down, right? There's a lot of people that are careless, creating fires, throwing a cigarette out the window, like stupidity, stupid things, right? And yeah, there's been no rain as well. So, things get really dry, and all it takes is just a little spark of something, boof, instantaneously. It's very devastating. That, Jasper, Alberta here, very devastating. I don't listen to the news. I don't watch the news. But I do see, posts on, let's say, Facebook about Jasper, different places, right? And I immediately send out prayers and ask the spirit world to step in and try to help, put some water and so on and so on and so on. The world is very fragile. The world is a very fragile place. Our planet, we have to respect. When you start showing your planet with respect, it shows respect back to you. Right? So I'm just saying, right? So now as we enter into August, you're going to find your sleep is going to be off because we have that new moon in Leo on the 4th and the 5th. Wow, my fellow lions, right? I'm a Leo. I'm a fire horse, double the power, or I mean, double the flames, double the fire, double the passion, and so on, right? So, want to wish my fellow lions a happy birthday. How many of you are Leos? Just saying. I love my tigers, love my lions, and so on, especially my lions, right? Animals. I usually get along with all different signs, right? I read the person's energy more than some zodiac sign, right? But as I'm doing YouTube and live videos and such, I always say, what sign are you? Because I get curious to see certain signs coming in, because I might find that for a week I might be talking to all Libras, let's say, or all of a sudden my whole day is talking to Capricorns, or and so on and so on and so on and so on, like that, right? So this is a very powerful time for you guys. Like when you know your strengths and your weaknesses, we all do, right? This is your opportunity to work through your weaknesses. Embrace this. Start preparing yourself to make some changes. We all have our vulnerability. A lot of people say you have so much strength and courage, Jeni. Yes, I do. I've handled many things on my own, mainly throughout my life. And as you go through certain things, you get stronger, you gain a lot more wisdom and knowledge and such like that, and so on and so on. But I am very vulnerable as well, and I'm very sensitive. I'm very sensitive and empathic. So I get messages 24/7 from the spirit world nonstop. It never stops. I read people in seconds, right? So we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. We all have our good side and our not so good side. It's like that angel on one shoulder, the devil on the next shoulder. And it's all about balance. It's all about balance. We can bring that femininity out with our goddess side and our emotions and everything like that. And then we can bring out that real dominant side, right? Like if I have somebody that takes me for advantage, sometimes, I'll get nonstop messages from certain people. And I'm like, you know what? Enough of that. Enough of that. Right? You want to book a reading with me? There's my website. So there's certain situations, what do you see, Jeni? What do you see? What do you see? Book a reading with me. Soulworkwithjeni.com. You want information? There's my website. I'll be more than happy to accommodate you and give you all of my insights to what I see for you in your past life, communicate with your animals, your loved ones who have passed on, give you my insights into what I see, and so on and so on and so on. Right? So I'm 100% self-employed, 100% self-employed. I don't get money just handed to me just like that. Here you go, Jeni. No, I work for it. I work for it, right? So it's time to really reflect back on what's not working. Like the illusion in our mind is not showing you reality. When you detach from certain situations and people, Jeni, I found my soulmate. Oh my God. However, if you attach to certain people, let's say, like you think you found a soulmate, you're going to have expectations for what you expect. And when that's not happening, you're going to start suffering. You're going to start like, oh my gosh, am I not good enough? Oh my gosh, your self-esteem can go down, and then your mind goes into fear zone. Why don't you detach and allow things to happen naturally? If that's your person, it's going to work out. No matter if it's today, next month, next year, things come together in divine timing. And if that's not your person, the right person will appear when you're not forcing, when you're not pushing things. That's with anything. Work towards your things, work towards your goals, work on yourself. In order to find the right person, you have to love yourself unconditionally before you find the right person, right? Maybe that person is going through a lot of different situations that you don't know about, and you judge that person automatically. Why are you judging people? You should not ever judge anybody. So this is a powerful week for you to prepare for these incoming energies that are off the charts. It's a lot of magic in the air. People are coming back from your past, giving you second chances. Maybe they want to forgive you. Maybe you want to forgive them. Maybe they want to rekindle a friendship or a romance, and so on and so on, right? So it opens up a lot of new things. You're going to be maybe looking at things that weren't working. You're going to be like revamping things. You could start doing renovations. You could start be like, yeah, I'm going to paint that wall now, right? Or like whatever it is. So go by what you're truly drawn towards, and you'll see miracles happen. You really, really will. Surrender. I surrender everything. Everything. I don't attach to nothing. So it's like when you allow the flow will work with you. Surrender it for your highest good. If this is my right path for me, things are going to keep on working out for me, new doors. You know, when you have opportunities come, it doesn't mean that you have to agree on every opportunities. I've had many opportunities coming to myself. I've actually turned down two now. But I'm always grateful that, you know, when people reach out and offer me something for an opportunity, let's say, but you have to go by, does that work for me? Does that feel right for me? Maybe it's not the right time, or maybe it's just the not right, you know, right thing for you. So this is why it's important to meditate. Take some time out. What decision do I make? You can always book a reading with me, get clarity, however, right? You know, sit back and meditate. Pay attention to the energy of Mother Nature we have right now. Look at the roots in the background of how to get more grounded, especially during this Leo season. Leo season is about the inner child, you know, like the courage and to come out and play and to make some changes and so on. And by taking your power back, as you're healing with this Chiron energy, as long as you're not running from it, you run from things, it just comes back again over and over and over and over again, and it doesn't resolve. So this is the right time and the energy to work with the magic of it, right? So now I'm going to pull a couple of cards from the spirit world to see what their messages are for you. I don't use cards when I do a one-on-one session with someone because I'm clairvoyant psychic. So I use cards here on YouTube for the collective. And if this card resonates with you, let me know. You know, this card is for you, right? It's not for everyone. You know, we're not all going through the exact same thing, of course, right? We are all experiencing and going through different things in our life. We all are. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter, you know, who you are. It's irrelevant. We're all humans, are we not? So, alrighty then. So what is the energy from the 27th to the 2nd of August from the spirit world? No, didn't feel that. What is the energy from the 27th to the 2nd of August? August already? Oh my gosh. Ships, water. How many of you are going on a vacation? We have an August long weekend here in Canada coming up, right? How many of you are going away on vacations or going by the water, going on a cruise or, you know, or boat or whatever like that, right? Just make sure that whenever you're going in the water to be really careful. There's more shark attacks, as I've talked about for a year now, right? Even predicted that in my yearly predictions, right? So just please be careful. Don't go alone. You know, and make sure you really listen to your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, there's more accidents and so on. I'm not going to go on to scare you guys, but I like to keep things real as well. So, you know, we all have different, I love the ocean myself. I love water. So I stopped myself from moving to Vancouver Island because there's no doctors over there. There's no doctors in British Columbia. It's insane. And it's not acceptable. Not acceptable. There's people living in BC who have cancer and they have to wait 3 to 5 years to see a doctor. Like, what the hell is wrong with that? Right? And your so-called leaders are spending money on whatever they want to, and they don't care about you. Because if they did, this wouldn't be happening. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. So anyways, what is the message from the 27th to the 2nd of August from the spirit world? The message from our spirit world. Right away. Realm of the Fae. Now, I love little fairy magic, right? This is a week, you know, we're bringing out Leo energy. It's all about embracing that inner child, especially on the new moon coming up, right? Enjoying your inner child. You know, how many of you guys are doing certain things you used to do as a child, like going on a swing set, right? Like, take a look at what you used to do is when you were a child. I'm not saying for you guys to go back and and do certain things. However, there's certain things we used to do when we were a child that we enjoyed doing, or maybe that we couldn't do, or we didn't have that opportunity to do. Now is your time to have some fun, right? Meow, right? Meow. That energy within, and start having some fun. There's a lot of magic in the air too with these energies, a lot of magic. So let me see, let's pull this one here. Onto this stack. And whenever you use your cards, make sure you clear them. I've cleared these decks before I even started this video. So now what's coming up here from this 27th to the 2nd of August? Collectively. Coming up here. Too many fell out. Coming up from 27th to the 2nd of August. Seek, of course. Seek and you shall find, as I call it. And what a cool little card, because it shows the summertime. Like, depending where you are, you could be in your winter months too, right? You know, with the solstice. For those who had solstice, you could be moving into your winter months or your summer months, depending where you are. But this card is very interesting because it looks like, he's trying to meditate in the woods, in the forest, with Mother Nature to get grounded. As you're seeking new beginnings, as you're seeking to hear those messages coming through from the light of your soul, you will hear those messages when you're open to receive. Meditation takes time. When you silence the mind, how many of you guys, when you go into, let's say, nature, start to get messages, start to see some clarity, start to see, you know what, I'm just not happy at my job, or I'm just not happy in my relationship, or like whatever it is, right? How many of you can really feel that even more when you're getting in touch with nature? That's your soul talking to you. If you're living in illusions and trying to create that story of your mind, of your fairy tale, you're not seeing reality. You can have the fairy tale, that very well could happen. Your Prince Charming, could all of a sudden show up, that the women of your dreams could show up for you gentlemen out there, or whoever, you're drawn to, right? That could happen for you. That really could happen for you. I literally just saw some message for somebody. I don't know who it is. But I'm literally being shown like a countryside. I'm seeing like the fence, like a horse's fence or horse's post on an acreage or ranch or something. I'm seeing the horse. And you could meet your person there. You very well could meet your person there, I'm hearing. The person that I'm seeing is a male that you're going to meet. So if you're male, you're going to meet, there's potential for you to meet your male, or if you're a woman, you're going to, there's potential to meet your male. I'm feeling and seeing this kind of cowboy kind of feel, like somebody with like a plaid shirt on, blue jeans, and even could have a cowboy hat on. Maybe he's a worker at the ranch there. Maybe he's there at the retreat. I'm literally seeing that. So, and you might, when you meet him, have that familiarity of, I know him. Darker hair, he has darker hair, curly, little bit. And you could be like, I feel really comfortable with this person. I don't know, but I feel as if I know him somehow. Maybe he's holding a bucket and feeding the horses, and or like the animals on the ranch or the farm or something like that. So pay attention, pay attention. He can have a truck, right? He likes the countryside, farming. He is not a city person at all. He distanced away from the city. He doesn't want nothing to do with it. He's very to himself. He's very authentic. He's looking for somebody who's authentic. And he's somebody that doesn't rush into anything really quickly at all. because he's like, you know what, I really want to get to know somebody. He's very, very grounded. So I don't know who that message is for, but that's very clear. And universe wanted me to pass on that message. So let me know, you guys, if that happens to you. Let me know. I just heard a name, but I don't know if I should say it or not, because I don't want you guys to attach to this name. But I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Darwin. I don't know if that resonates with anybody or anything at all. Don't go looking for Darwin. Oh, that's my person. It could be your person. I'm just saying, but don't go searching, where's Darwin? Right? So anyways, yeah, that was really, really, it's a nice day out too. Like it's like a summery day, or it's warm. And the guy is just he's very kind of cool and calm and set back, very, you know, yeah, I'm liking him. I'm liking his vibe. I'm really liking his vibe. He's a very, very old soul, a lot of wisdom. He's been through a lot, especially with another male. Um, yeah. So, um, but anyways, if I get messages coming through, I say it. I say it, right? So now what's the message from our animals from the 27th of August to the 2nd of August? Message from our animal kingdom. Message from our animal kingdom. Something about a squirrel. I don't know why. Watch a squirrel fall out. Message from our animal kingdom. Message from our animal kingdom from the 27th to the 2nd of August. Antelope. Antelope is decisiveness. Make a decision and take appropriate action. Now, this week, what are we doing? We're preparing for this upcoming powerful energies with the Lionsgate portal, Mercury retrograde, new moon. So you're getting prepared. When we prepared, like, okay, like I purposely will be like, okay, that's the day, like new moons, by the way, is a day to not have surgery, by the way. Like if you have to have surgery, you have to have surgery. Don't get me wrong, right? You know, but I will plan, sure, I'll look at the day and I'm like, you know what, today is not the day to make a decision. Today is the day to make that decision. Today is the day to not do that, like certain things like that. So that's why I specifically do these cosmic vibes video as well, to help you guys, you know, during certain days or certain times to go for it, to make that decision. Because when you do that and work with the energy will work with you to help you with that, right? No matter if it's something, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do that today. I don't have the courage or the strength. You know, when you're facing days like that, like if I had a day where I'm like, you know what, this is going to be a challenging day, or this day could be really more difficult, I will wake up in the morning and say, you know what, this day is going to flow. Everything is going to be flow with ease. The universe is helping assist me. I'm open for prosperity and abundance. I'm open for new opportunities that are best for my higher self and highest purpose and calling, right? You know, and whenever you do that and set your day off in a positive way, you will see that the day will work with you. You know, we all have challenges to face. We all have difficulties, you know, throughout our day and through different situations and events, right? Like, I have 3 deaths myself coming up that I can see. So I'm preparing myself for that as well. So, you know, and it's all about never taking anybody for granted, as I've always stated. And you know, when you get that calling from your soul, your gut instinct, your soul, your inner guru, your inner GPS talking to you, listen to that. If you feel compelled to go see somebody, to pick up the phone and call that person, do it. I don't know, something says that I should go visit this person, or maybe I should call that person. I don't know why, but Listen to that. Pay attention to that. Especially your dreams this week, as I mentioned, that's coming up. They're going to be more vivid. They're going to show you a lot more things. So now, how many of you are going to tune in and join me on my live psychic clairvoyant readings Wednesday, July 31st at 12 noon Mountain Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram, Jeni Cousins, and I'll follow you right back. And you'll get notifications on video content, plus a lot more things that are happening. So I want to wish you all, and especially to my fellow lions, meow, a happy week. And make sure you guys prepare yourself for these upcoming shifts that you are currently in right now. Namaste.